50 must-know British slang words and phrases. Bloke. Bloke would be the American English equivalent of dude. It means a man. Lad. In the same vein as bloke, lad is used, however, for boys and younger men. Bonkers. Not necessarily intended in a bad way, bonkers means mad or crazy. Daft. Used to mean if something is a bit stupid. It's not particularly offensive, just a mildly silly or foolish piece of UK slang. To leg it. This term means to run away, usually from some trouble. I legged it from the police. Trialed plastered. These two words are British slang for drunk. One can get creative here and just add ed to the end of practically any object to get across the same meaning. For example, hammered. Quid. This is British slang for British pounds. Some people also refer to it as squid. Dodgy. This England slang word is used to describe something or someone a little suspicious or questionable. For example, it can refer to food which tastes out of date, or, when referring to a person, it can mean that they are a bit sketchy. Gobsmacked. This is a truly British expression. Gobsmacked means to be utterly shocked or surprised beyond belief. Gob is a British expression for mouth. Bevy. This is short for the word beverages, usually alcoholic, most often beer. Knackered. Knackered is used when someone is extremely tired. For example, I was up studying all night last night, I'm absolutely knackered. Lost the plot. Someone who has lost the plot has become either angry, irrational, or is acting ridiculously. For example, when my dad saw the mess I made, he lost the plot. Taking the piss. This is one of the most commonly used British slang phrases. To take the piss means to mock, or generally be sarcastic towards something. For example, don't be so serious, I was only taking the piss. Not to be confused with being pissed, see below. Pissed. The British sure do love their bevis. This is one of the many British terms for being drunk. Throwing a wobbly. This British expression means to have a tantrum, however, tends to be used when describing tantrums thrown by adults, or people who should otherwise know better. A cuppa. A cuppa is the shortened version of a cup of tea. You might hear the expression fancy a cuppa, quite often, which is normally always referring to tea. The British do love their tea after all. Bloody. As British slang, bloody places emphasis on a comment or another word. That's bloody brilliant, for example. It is regarded as a mild expletive, swear word, but due to its common usage, it is generally acceptable. For example, oh bloody hell. Can't be asked. A commonly used British slang sentence is can't be asked. This is a less polite version of saying that you can't be bothered doing something. You might also see this abbreviated to CBA in text speak. Chuffed. If someone is chuffed, they are very happy or delighted. Skint. Skint is a British expression to mean being broke or having no money. Lacking fivers and tenors, if you will, see below. Fiver. A £5 note. Tenor. A £10 note. Bog. Not a muddy marsh, but a toilet. Oh, the British. Bog roll. These British words refer to the paper you use in the bog, also known as toilet paper. Bird. This is British slang for a girl or a woman. Mug. Mug is more specifically London slang and is associated with the Cockney accent. This is not a particularly nice word to describe someone, as it means a fool or a stupid person. Chav. This is a derogatory British slang word for a young hooligan who normally starts fights and makes trouble. Chavs are usually seen as lower class. Git. Git is a British expression of insult. It's chav slang to describe a person, usually a man, who is very unpleasant, incompetent, or is an idiot. Cheeky. This is used to describe someone's behavior. If someone is being cheeky, they are being slightly rude or disrespectful but in a charming or amusing way. If you are a cheeky child, you are being brash or disrespectful and will probably get into trouble. Slag off. To slag someone off means to make fun of a person by verbally attacking them. Sod. This British expression shares a similar meaning to devil or thing and is used to refer to a person, particularly a man. You stupid sod, or you lucky sod, for example. Grafting. Grafting is Scottish slang denoting a lad who is trying to get a girl to like him. A bit like flirting. You'll hear this one a lot on the British Love Island. Muppet. Another great British insult. A muppet is a person who is ignorant and is generally a bit clueless. Pants. In the UK, pants typically refers to underwear. However, pants can also be used as an equivalent of the word bad, e.g. that's pants. Prat. Yet another classic British slang term of insult. A prat is someone who is full of themselves and, almost invariably, stupid as well. With a hint of delusion. Nosh. That's real good nosh. Nosh is a British expression for food. Buzzin'. Buzzing can mean to be tipsy or slightly drunk. I'm buzzin' after that pint. It's also British slang for being excited or very happy. I just booked my holiday to Spain. I'm absolutely buzzin'. Pied off. This is not a nice feeling. If you've been pied off, you've been rejected or shot down. Bev. This one had most of us confused when we first heard it on Love Island 2019. Bev means a handsome man. To crack on. To crack on with something means to get started or continue with something. To use these UK slang words in a sentence you'd say, it's getting late, I better crack on. Gutted. Meaning of being bitterly disappointed about something. I was absolutely gutted when I heard the bad news. Blimey. Blimey is used as a way of expressing surprise at something. Blimey, look at that. Cock up. Get your mind out of the gutter. A cock up is a mistake or failure. I made a total cock up of it. Kerfuffle. If you've gotten yourself into a kerfuffle, you are generally involved in a disagreement with someone. Kerfuffle also has a similar meaning to fuss. For example, you can say, it was all a big kerfuffle. In it. This is one of the most commonly heard UK slangs. It's the shortened and easier version of isn't it? It's seen as a general filler in a conversation or when seeking confirmation, for example. Cool, innit? Cracking. When something or someone is cracking, it means that the thing or the person is particularly good or excellent. For example, he's a cracking lad or that's a cracking cuppa. Minging. This is British slang for disgusting or gross. Proper. Proper is used as an alternative to very or extremely. For example, that's proper good nosh, innit? To nick. This is a British expression to mean stealing. As in I nicked these sweets from the shop. Faffing around. Faffing around is a very British pleasure. It means doing nothing particularly productive or taking unnecessary time to do something that should be relatively quick or straightforward.